I'm Lyntrell, the CEO and founder of Lyntrell's Closet, Come With Me Sis, and many other brands. And I brought this business together, or started my business with Come With Me Sis, because I wanted to build a sisterhood and some way to collaborate with other like-minded women and to be able to meet women all over the world and bridge those gaps where women feel like they don't have someone to bounce ideas off of, work with, network, grow and strategize with. So that was the meaning behind that brand. And it allows me to work with women on a daily basis as a business strategist to provide them step-by-step strategies to grow their brands and businesses. Some of the challenges that I had to overcome as a mom was, I'm originally from Florida and I moved to Atlanta about 2009. And when I got here, I didn't have any family or friends, and it was hard trying to maneuver around the city, network, grow. My children were very, very small, and I just didn't always have a babysitter or someone to help care for them. So I had to take them to a lot of gigs with me, and it was tough. But I overcame that by just being okay and being patient with myself and saying, they won't be little kids forever. This will all be over soon. And eventually, we'll be at a place to where maybe I could shift the industry to make it more accommodating for moms. I've done some videos and been on different networks like BET and things like that. And my children had to be right there while I was filming or while I was doing things, and they would have like a little cubby with their books and homework and stuff like that. And me being okay with it helped me to get over those things that I thought were challenges at the time or obstacles, but they were really stepping stones because they helped me to be okay later with knowing that if I can overcome those things, then there's not much that I can't do. So my advice to a mom that's up and coming would be to be patient and do what you can with what you have. We don't always have all the tools. We don't have all the know-how, the knowledge, the step-by-step, the skills, and everything that we need to keep going. But if you can be okay with starting right where you are with what you have, it'll grow into everything you need. So being patient, loving on yourself, whatever that means, whatever it looks like, taking time for yourself to allow yourself to grow and let your dreams manifest.
So I'm Michelle Hill. I am the owner and skincare alchemist over here at Honey Milk. And Honey Milk is pretty much a soap and skin company where we provide all natural skincare products for the health conscious consumer. And my company was actually started back in 2012, pretty much because my son was diagnosed with autism. And once he was diagnosed with autism, it was like critical for me to find a way to take autism away from him if I could, to try and save him. And so once I started to do all the research, I saw that, being that our skin is the largest organ, my wheels started spinning, and I'm like, okay, if our skin is the largest organ, let me save him through his skin. Whatever is going in our skin is what's going on our skin is going into our system. And if, the things like vaccinations and the foods we eat, if that's going into his system, why not, try to create something that is going to help eliminate or keep the bad stuff out of his system or off of his skin and into a system that's messing him up. So
hey,
that was
you can't do that right now.
Was created. And it literally just started as a for me to help my son with his diagnosis with autism, because autism, of course, is a developmental delay, and well, not everybody, but kids with autism or people with autism have it on different spectrums and at different levels. And for him, it was just, me helping him to develop and helping him to, learn how to be. And so it was so crazy because for the longest time, I would say until he was about 4-ish, about 5, he had a whole lot of developmental delays. And once I started using my products on him, or the stuff that I was making, because they weren't products then, but the soaps and the lotions and things that I was making for him, once I started using that and I was keeping other things out of his skin or out of his system, through my products and the things that he ate, he started to develop. It was so weird how that happened. And so I got so excited, shared my story with everybody, shared it with other people, and then Honey Milk was born because everybody else wanted the products. And as a mom, you know, I'm not just any mom, you know, I shouldn't say that, but I'm really not just any mom. I'm a mom of a kid with special needs. And a lot of people think that it's just you're on the same even keel, and it's not. For the longest time, I was so afraid to start a business. And for me, it was just like I would try to go get jobs and be at people's jobs. And it was just so hard because I was always, you know, my wheels were always turning for business. And eventually I had to make a decision. And this is something that I would tell every, you know, person out there, a mom or a dad, but specifically mothers, you know, because we're the ones that are the nurturers and the superwoman women, and we want to be all and do all for everybody. And then it takes so much away from us. You know, our cups are always empty. So this is what I would always tell somebody that, you know, they want to start a business and they may have a child with special needs, or they may have a situation where they feel like they can't go beyond that situation. This is what I would tell them. The most important thing that I found was to make systems. Make a system, and it's not just the production side of things, but it's literally from your household to the money that you're trying to make. You have to create a system, and within that system, you're going to find balance. And within that balance, you'll find your euphoria, where you're living the life that you want to live. Your family is being taken care of. Your children are being taken care of. You're being taken care of, and you're finding the joy, and you're going to be able to, you know, produce whatever it is that you're trying to produce because you found that system. When I first started this specific business, I was a married woman, but at that point, probably about 6 years, and I had help. You know what I mean? I had help. And so now it's to a point where I'm by myself for the past 4 years, and I'm making this work on my own. And when that great divide happened, or that dynamic happened, when that shift happened of me being a divorced woman, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was dying from breast cancer, and it was just so many different things. I became severely anemic because I stopped eating meat, trying to be healthier and all this stuff, which I was already anemic. And so you know, everything was just topsy-turvy. I was in bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship. And so when I learned to buckle down and started taking care of me, I discovered that it was more important for me to create a system where I can still love myself, I can still love and help my son to develop, I can still make the money that I'm trying to make, I can still take care of my household, I can still, you know, live the life that I want to live, and still be happy, and still move and shake, and still be able to rest, because that's also important. So when I talk about a system, I'm talking about those components, because a lot of people think that they can't do it because they try to, you know, do all these things at once and still be this super woman and super mom and super, you know, wife and super girlfriend, and you know, we try to be these things, and it's just sometimes unrealistic because we're not strategizing what needs to happen. And I promise you, with any woman that's trying to start a business, I don't care if you have special needs child, or if you just have multiple children, whatever your dynamic is, I promise you that if you just divide everything up, but put you first, because if your cup is empty, you cannot be any good to anybody else. So that's what I would definitely be able to tell somebody else.
Okay, so my name is Nicole Johnson. I'm an independent notary public, signing agent, and a small business owner. So I own a notary public company, which is Complete Trust Notary Services, and I also have a spa for little girls. It's called the Princess Patch Girl Spa. I started the notary company kind of like the end of 2020, really starting out full time in it the beginning of this year, 2021. I started the Girl Spa in 2006. So I've really been doing that a kind of a long time. With my notary company, I offer mobile services. So basically, those that are in need for notarizations and require the convenience of me coming to them. So I do that. Also with the Complete Trust, I help homeowners who are purchasing, refinancing, or either going through a reverse mortgage, the peace of mind at the closing table. So I basically ensure them that the documents are executed correctly and to avoid any funding delays or any type of closing delays, period, with their closing. With the Princess Pack, my team and I, we focus on providing the ultimate girly experience. So basically, when the girls come in, they just having an amazing pamper day, and that helps girls, especially in this day and time, with if they're being bullied at school, if they lack the confidence that they need. Like just a simple spa day will boost their confidence with getting their nails done, getting their toes done, getting a little age appropriate makeup, just making them feel like, hey, you are that princess, you are someone, and it's all about promoting, that positive self-care. My biggest challenge as a mompreneur was balancing home life and running multiple businesses. So that is definitely tough, especially with having 3 kids, a husband, and 2 businesses running those. All 3 of my kids are very active, so I'm running from here to there. The moms are doing everything. The dads, they chilling. Basically for the moms that's doing everything. But I was able to overcome that challenge by basically setting boundaries, learning self-discipline, and I had to create a flexible schedule to manage being a wife, a mom, and balancing being an entrepreneur. My absolute best advice to a mompreneur struggling to grow her business would be, stop delaying it. Like we always think that it has to be perfect, that you have to have everything in line to start, but you don't. Just start it. Everything would develop as time goes. Believe in your brand. Like I can honestly say that's something that I struggled with in the beginning, but you really have to believe in what you're doing. It would definitely show. If you believe in it 100%, then other people will. And last but most important, know that your dreams matter too. As moms, I know I do, I always put myself on the back burner. I always say, hey, my kids have to do this, my husband have to do this, but then we just here, and you're wondering, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to be doing? So just know, if you have that dream, it matters. Mom, it matters. It's not you lacking being a mom if you go out and follow your dreams. So that's all. That's what I have to say.
That was amazing, Nicole. I love working with ladies. I do, because everybody's story is so different. Everybody's journey is so different.
Yes,
And it's
yes.
important to work with many women, because then you get to hear perspective from so many different walks of life. Like, I'm not a married woman, and then you are married, and Michelle is divorced. Like, those are totally different walks of life. Going from not, having support to no support to never really having a support to, having it.
Right.
What got me started as a mompreneur, I would have to say, first of all, I was a mom before I was a preneur, but I never really had the will of or the discipline to just stay focused on my 9 to 5. I knew I was manifested to be something way greater. I would literally pull up to work as a parent, knowing that I had a small child at home, and if I saw PTO show up, I was out. And I don't think people, it is difficult because I was a student, I was a mom, and trying to do schoolwork, being a full-time parent, a single parent at that, is very difficult. But it's something I overcame, and we always push through it. And I think I was laughing. I think Lyntrell, was that you who stated you had to just go with your kids with the flow?
Yes.
Absolutely. So, I do real estate, and what got me into doing real estate was that I knew what it was like not to have. So I wanted to make sure I secured a future for my children of never having to know the emotional things that come behind moving house to house to house, an eviction on a kid, you know, that's important. And although a lot of kids don't even understand what it feels like or what it means, for me, knowing what it stood for and what it took from me, just always moving place to place to place with no solid foundation, I wanted to make sure I promised my kids something completely different. So I have to say my oldest son was 1. My baby was in a car seat, and I drove around one night until they fell asleep in the car, and I pulled up into a golf course community, and I parked in front of a house that was under construction, and literally fell asleep in front of this house. But while asleep, I had a dream, and I woke up the next morning and called the realtor because I saw myself walking through this house. It was a luxury home, and I went in the garage and got in my Escalade EXV with my kids in the car. And when a guy came and opened up the house for me, it was knowing that was the exact home I seen in my dream.
Wow.
After that, I said, I promised my children that, you know, they would never have to know the struggles. So I immediately, by the time I had my third child, shortly a year after, I ended up going to get my real estate license because I had a car accident in 2008 where I died at the scene. And I think that knowing that when you're your own boss, no one can fire you. You don't have to account or answer for what you're going through at the time. But I died at the scene of a crash in 2008. And to me, that was God allowing me to give myself a manifestation reset button. And, you know, the devil was so busy because shortly after walking away from the scene, well, I didn't walk away. I was transported to the hospital. But they allowed me to leave the same day after realizing that I didn't have too many things wrong with me, brain damage wise. I thought that was crazy. But in 2012, I got diagnosed with MS. And I had my real estate license in 2009, by the beginning of 2009. And I wasn't really using it because the banks paid me so well to suppress what I was already licensed and designed to do. It wasn't a rush for me to leave my 9 to 5. But in 2012, when I was diagnosed with MS, when you get up from your bed and you're paralyzed from the legs down, you tell yourself, hey, listen, I'm gonna walk again. I manifested everything I needed to happen. But with going back to work, I was like, this is not for me. So I immediately pushed in my real estate, and I've become a 6-figure earner every year since, multiple times within the same year. And I've started my own real estate school and taking my children with me everywhere I go. So I tell my kids and all of my agents who work with me, you know, listen, we're doing this for our children. Right. We're doing this for each other, you know. So I just love the fact that being a mompreneur, I've allowed so many other parents or mothers to be in the same position as myself. It's just, to me, it's manifesting what I knew and what I know I'm capable of. And I would tell any mompreneur, like you said, and I think everyone else is giving the same thing, stop waiting. Bet on yourself. Yep. And allow yourself the opportunity to prove yourself wrong. Because I think the biggest thing that mompreneurs or any entrepreneur comes across is that they're not certain that they can do it. Yeah. But if you trust yourself, you might fail. But now that you've gone through it, you saw what the obstacle course looks like. And you know, you just jot out your plan and have it redone. I promise you it'll work out for any parent and for any mom, dad, whatever. Because there's single dads out here doing it too. But we're gonna toot our own horns because we believe and we deserve it all. But I'm proud of everybody. So honey milk, girl, you got me wanting some honey milk. Like I'm about to use your product. And for that signing agent, notary person, what state are you in, Nicole?
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, listen, I have an office where if you do have to have a closing, you're more than welcome to use our space. Let's push to open up a title office. That way you can actually conduct all of your own closings, honey. I'm gonna show you how to make the money.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you.
Me and Michelle are in Atlanta. Nicole and Jatoy are in Jacksonville. Shakeem is in Atlanta. She's not here right now. Jada is out in New Orleans, but I met her in Atlanta. She's lived in Charlotte. She owns a mega food truck. Wow. Like I love doing this because it brings so many people together, and that you may have not have ever met, because a lot of us are on the go. We're business women and we're busy, and we don't always get to stop and smell the roses, so to speak, to reach out and talk to other people because we are on the go.
Right.
So this gives me the opportunity to kind of reach back and see, if we can work together in any kind of way, but also to lay out that opportunity or foundation for other women who may have never even run across paths to be able to connect. So I love that aspect of doing this video each quarter. Hold on, Jatoya, you might be back, I think.